It is clash of the tech titans time, so to speak. War of the MP3 players. Now, we have covered a whole lot about the iPod over the last couple of years on the show, simply because, like it or not, it is the industry leader. But today, we're going to look at Microsoft's answer to the iPod, and that would be this little guy. It's called the Zune. Our tech and trends columnist, Elias Mackwas, is here with us, and Elias has actually been testing a number of MP3 players for us over the last couple of weeks from both Apple and from Microsoft.
Absolutely.
And I guess the Zune has its work cut out for it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we all know that iPod is the leader in the category, and Microsoft is looking to make a dent in that market. They've been out in the States for quite a bit of time. This is their second kick at it. This is the second version of the Zune. That's the big 80-gig hard drive player that you've got right there in your hands. And, they're trying to take a piece out of that big pie that Apple's carved out for itself.
So, first glance, it looks a whole lot like the iPod, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it definitely does look like that old iPod, the last generation of the iPod, and that's and I guess that's a good thing. There's one thing that the iPod has going for it, and it is the interface. So why not copy someone that has done such a good job?
Now, in terms of playing music, which is what both of these guys are supposed to be doing, what's the ease of use like? Do they both play music well?
They both play music well. I find that the build quality, the hardware, let's say, the actual unit itself.
The guts of it.
The guts of it, they're both very good. And, there's definitely some strong points with the Zune. It does have an FM player, and I find the headphones were a little bit better. Where the Zune is lacking comes behind the scenes and comes in the software.
The software.
The stuff that runs it, On your computer, you need to have software on your computer to get your songs from your computer onto your Zune, just like you need to have iTunes on your computer in order to get your songs from your computer to your iPod. And this is where the Zune is really lacking. I found that the software was very hard to use, hard to install, and just not as intuitive as the iPod software. Because
iTunes, which is what Apple uses, is very intuitive.
Yeah, very intuitive, very easy to use, and it's just very well laid out. Kind of disappointing, this is a player from Microsoft.
I'm going to show another one over here.
But you can't use Windows Media Player in order to load songs. You actually have to download a new type of software. It's the Zune software.
This is a Zune 2, right? This pink one?
Yeah, that's the Flash Zune. That comes in 8 gigs, and that's competition to this guy right here.
Which is, of course, the Apple.
That's right. So we've got
iPod.
Two of the. That's the iPod Nano. If you touch a button there, the screen will come on.
Right.
And you can see that's the iPod Nano. It also plays video as well.
Right.
And you've got the iPod Touch, which is another great gadget over here.
Right.
One thing I like about that iPod Touch, which is what you're holding, that big one that you're holding there, it's got Wi-Fi built in. The Zune has Wi-Fi, but it's kind of a useless Wi-Fi. It's to transfer songs, whereas the Wi-Fi on this iPod Touch over here, this Wi-Fi that you've got over here, you can surf the web on it. You can actually go and surf the web and check your email. You
can't do that on the Zune.
Not on the Zune.
Okay, not yet, anyway.
Yeah, and it's kind of a different product that you're looking at. This iPod Touch does have a big screen into the touch screen, so it's a higher end product than that Zune over there.
What about price?
Price-wise, the Zune is going to launch, probably at the same price points as the iPod. They haven't announced a date. It's coming in the spring. The Zunes are coming out in the spring in Canada, and probably at the same price point as the iPod, which would be around $219 for this Flash guy over here, and $279 for this big one that we have over here, which is comparable to the iPod. You can find the Zune actually now in Canada, even though officially it's not on sale. If you go on the internet, some Canadian retailers are selling it online, and for actually cheaper. You can actually find this right now for $200.
So I guess Apple doesn't need to be worried quite yet.
I think that Microsoft needs to do a better job at getting that software down pat. I think they're a little bit behind, and I think what Microsoft has to do is try to innovate ahead of Apple.
Right.
I think this is a great product from Microsoft, but unfortunately, I think it's better competition for the last iPod Nano.
And
the current iPod Nano, which just came out, it's got a nice, it's got a bigger screen, and it looks very nice.
All right, we're out of time. Always a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to throw things back to Lise. Thanks. Lise, take it away.